like, what is happening right now? These guys have been sitting there talking for the last 10 minutes. You're right, but the camera wasn't on. We got to catch up. Kendall Mills, it's State of the Union, as always, once a month. Thank you so much for allowing us to come in your office and do this, man.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Good.
All right, let's go ahead and get into, we'll talk about all the sports that are going on right now, but let's just talk about with you. Now we're at the halfway point, starting the second semester, 2026.
Yep.
How you feeling? How does Muskogee County Athletics, how's everybody feeling heading in this new year?
Just imagine, just a few months ago was my first day, first week on the job.
I remember it.
It flies, man. It flies by. To get through those fall and winter sports going on now, but just football, flag football, cross country, volleyball, softball, all those things. I mean, the calendar does not stop and time waits on no one. So we just keep it going. I'm learning every day. Still got my mentor right down the hallway. So we talk daily about the tasks that need to take place and the things that needs to get accomplished and done. So me and my assistant, we push it to the max every day.
Yeah, Lori does an amazing job.
Absolutely.
She let us in here, and it's always nice to have Jeff right there as a listening ear, coach. But now that you've kind of gotten 6 months under your belt, are you starting to feel comfortable now implementing things that you want to see under your era? Like, yes, it's kind of like, I feel like the first couple months you're kind of just overseeing how things are done.
What we're done.
And then you get to kind of put your touch on it. Or do you want to kind of finish out the rest of this school year, and then heading into next year, you get put more of a touch on it with you?
I have several ideas on board, even just summer camps, things of that nature, some mentoringship types of leadership positions, not just for the athletic directors, but for the student athletes as well.
Yep.
You know, if we can get a student advisory board type thing where I meet with the captains, or, you know, I'll come up with a catchy name, of course.
But letting the kids have a voice.
Have a voice and let them go back and talk to their teammates and their colleagues and their students, their student body about what's expected when it comes to sportsmanship. Yeah. So I got a few things we're going to work on, and I'll start developing those more in the spring and the summer, and we'll see if we can implement those starting next year. And if not, we'll just still have it on the radar to get in play.
I think that's a great idea, Coach. I think it's awesome to allow kids to feel like they're being heard, they're important. I understand, because we used to be that way, and I used to feel like when I was 17, 18 years old that I knew everything and I want to be heard. But the main thing is allowing them to be heard. Doesn't mean you're going to agree with everything they say. It doesn't mean you're going to do everything that they ask, but you're letting them be heard.
Yeah.
And I think that's half the battle, right? With players nowadays, Coach, and I feel like there is starting more and more how this generation is a lot different than it used to be. So how are we trying to reach them? And I think that right there, empowering them and giving them a voice, that's a step in the right direction, correct?
And it's almost giving them a view of what the coach or the AD is thinking.
Right.
You know, because sometimes when we do make those decisions, I'm sure the kids just go home to their parents complaining about this, complaining about that. But hey, let me put you on this side, okay?
Right.
Almost like telling your captain, hey, here's a sheet of paper. Who's your starting five?
Right.
Why would you start that five?
Yeah.
Okay. Baseball, who's your starting pitcher? Why would you put him as pitcher?
Right.
What about if you got a double hitter that day? Like, now think about the decisions that are being made prior to practice, prior to the games, as far as strategy. And, of course, coaches make those decisions in hopes of winning.
Right.
You know, athletic directors, we make decisions in hope of putting on a great show or a great event. You know, and it's hard sometimes, even now as a spectator, I sit there, but every 15 minutes I'm like, okay, what could I be doing to make sure the next game goes off? You know, we spent the 2 days together for the showcase.
Yeah.
Like, what can I do now? Because I know I don't have to sit here and watch the game.
Right.
There's something I could be doing to make sure it's a better experience and a better environment for those spectators as well as the coaches and the teams.
I'm smiling because this guy's gotten too much media under his belt the last 2 years doing his podcast on Georgia Alabama Sports Lab, because it's exactly where I was going to go to start, was the showcase. Kind of a good place to get what's happened since last time we talked, which was in December, which we were promoting that event. Coach, obviously, I mean, we're going to put it out there. The wins did not come in terms of Muskogee County in that regard, except for Carver. Really highly contested games throughout the day. But overall, though, I thought it was a great event allowing the community, because you had schools that are in the immediate right here next to us, having Calvary, Russell County, Smith Station playing it. I mean, it was a big deal. I think a lot of bodies came through Columbus State. to see all these wonderful teams, and I think you did a great job doing it.
Yeah.
So, in your opinion, give us what you thought, how successful it was.
Well, and I know me and you talked last spring. We talked in the fall, and to everyone out there, the plan of the showcase was to get outside teams to play Muskogee County teams.
Yep.
So it wasn't let's just pick a good matchup. It was, okay, how can I get 16 teams to come play our 16 girls and boys teams? And you do the best job you can.
Yep.
And the schedules are set in the spring.
Right.
It wasn't leading up to it. Like those schools knew when they came back to school in August.
Well, who they were playing
in December. And like you said, sometimes you get teams that you don't know about.
Russell County.
And got some players.
Right.
And then you got teams that you thought might be there, but because of injuries or transfers or whatever,
100%.
Their roster's depleted or whatever. So the matchups are the matchups, but overall, it was a good event, as you said. It's at Columbus State. We give everyone an opportunity to play on a collegiate court.
Awesome. Got broadcasted all 16 games. Coach,
every game
thank
you
you
were
for
there.
letting us do
First
that.
thing in the morning, you and I are walking in at the same time. Robert Moore, the Columbus State staff, the coaches. The coaches are able to do some recruiting if they so see fit. You got some top-notch talent. Like you said, you got Chatco came in. You had Auburn came in with a Division I prospect. Although he got injured early, but, on a normal circumstance, the Columbus area would not see an Auburn or Opelika, in a showcase environment like that. So
no doubt.
I think that went well. And, I'll meet with some people in the next few weeks or so, and we'll start planning for next year. And we'll see what we're going to do because now we're in different regions.
Does that mean tournament coming back, Coach?
Could it be a tournament? Possibly.
That means you got to add an extra day, though.
You got to add an extra day. And how do you do it? Do you want it to be double elimination, single elimination? Because in scheduling in Georgia now, with the PSR, which is our ranking system,
right?
Some coaches will not want to play because they don't know who their matchup is.
Right.
And what I mean by that, everyone, is that in the power ranking system in Georgia, your schedule and your opponent's schedule are looked at and put into a formula to give you your points.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to always get games of a caliber opponent that's even with you or better, but the goal is to win.
Right.
The goal is to win the game. But you don't want to go out and play in a basketball or football. You don't want a 8-1 team to go play a 1-9 team.
Right.
That win does not help you at all because that team's record is bad, or their region or their opponents were not as good as the ones you have on your side. So it's a lot of education going on for all the athletic directors, and strategically going into next year. I know we'll touch on it later. With soccer, everyone's going to be power ranked. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, especially how they put their schedules together, Coach. But
interesting offseason.
It would be interesting to see also if you decided you want to get all 16 of the local schools and make one big tournament. Mm-hmm. If you do that, then you have to go about the process of how do you rank them? How do you set the matchups up? And, Coach, I'll say this on air if you want. Me and Richard, we can be the bad guys, and we'll rank everybody, put them in a bracket, and then if anyone gets upset, throw it up to me. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. When we come back from break, we'll talk about some of those other sports. Swimming, you got some results here. What's going on in middle school land, elementary, what's happening there, Coach? And also we have wrestling that Lori and Kendall have become experts of over the last few weeks. Is sitting with Athletic Director Kendall Mills, State of the Union, Muskogee County Athletics, Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
At Glenn Smith Chevrolet, let's kick off 2026 with a bang. We will not be undersold. Powerful full-size Chevy Silverados up to $13,750 off. Rugged mid-size Chevy Colorados up to $9,000 off. Enjoy no payments until springtime. Get your lowest price guaranteed today. Smart people from all over the USA come to Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Get ready to smile.
Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the fear and unknown. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
At Planet Fitness, there's strength in numbers. The number of different workouts to do.
1, 2,
Different clubs to do it in. Friends to do it with.
Looking good, everybody.
There we are.
And the number of ways to recover from it all.
You got this, come on.
And it all adds up to one membership. The Planet Fitness Black Card. Access any location, bring a friend anytime, and recover in the Black Card Spa.
One more, everybody.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
Georgia Alabama Sports Live wants to say thank you to Zaxby's for their continued partnership with us for over the last couple of years since we started this. Your partnership has meant the world for us to give you premier coverage for all the local sporting events around the Chattahoochee Valley area. And specifically, I want to thank Judson Humphreys, my good friend, and the Phoenix City location, being with us from the very beginning, man.
Absolutely. Well, we just appreciate what y'all do in the community for these student athletes, and we just want to be a part of it.
Whether it's tailgating, parties, or you just want a quick bite to eat, come to the Phoenix City Zaxby's location and tell them Georgia Alabama Sports Live and Thrift sent you. Thank you again to Judson Humphreys and Zaxby's for our continued partnership on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Had some breaking news as in Alabama, the AHSA coach is doing what the GHSA is doing. They're consolidating. They're going from 7 classifications now to 6. They're putting all the private schools together in 2 classifications, which can be good or bad because not all the private schools are the same in terms of numbers, but they're going to try to, I guess, do as best they can. And from what I'm seeing, there is some tough regions, including what Glenwood's going to be in, taking on some teams and schools that got, I know, more students than they do. I may be wrong in that, but when you hear Alabama doing this, Coach, what's your first thought?
It's bleeding from Georgia. It's bleeding from Georgia. I mean, and nationally, Georgia leads many states in the advancements, if you want to call it, or how we do things with JHSA and our leadership across our athletic sports. And just like the shot clock, you know, when we got a shot clock in basketball, we were the 5th out of 50 states to get it. You know, it's going to come to Alabama, and now with this classification, guess what, Alabama, get ready. Power rankings coming soon.
It 100% is. That is exactly what's going to happen. So
soon.
Breaking news. We'll have more information over the next couple of days and talk about it on Sunday. But we're breaking it here with Kendall Mills, HSA, switching things up. What does that mean for Central, Smith Station? What does that mean for Russell County? What does it mean for Glenwood? We're going to find out in the next couple of days. But we know for Glenwood, they're moving in that the 2 classifications for private. So they're putting all the privates together. The battle for a state championship. Coach, let's talk about some of the things that are happening around here.
Oh, yeah.
Let's stick in high school. We got wrestling. I think duels just got finished up with the region. We had the city championship, which we were able to broadcast at Columbus High a few weeks ago. Wrestling's got its own tight-knit community. I think you've learned that the hard way, Coach.
Wrestling.
And they really love the wrestlers.
It is a beast. What happens from January to Valentine's Day in wrestling is a gauntlet. You know, it's not like basketball because you still got your region games or this and that. They come right back in January and immediately start team championships, sectionals, you know, then you go to your individuals. So navigating that right now as a athletic director or director of athletics is different.
Yeah.
You know, you normally I would get a call from Jeff saying, hey, can you take this day off? Can you be here? Can you be there?
Now you have
and
to
now I'm organizing it and asking other athletic directors, hey, mark this on your calendar. I'm sending you an invite, you know, get ready for this. And coordinating with plant service and our operation team. We need these mats moved here. We got to set up. We got to do that. So that's interesting, man. It's different.
Yeah.
It's different.
Well, we're cheering because I think Russell Scott and his Jordan Red Jackets are competing right now.
Yep.
And we're hoping that any of the teams, Columbus High, I think Coach Secoy has an opportunity to maybe win a state championship this year. So we're cheering for all the local Missoula County schools that are competing for a state championship.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Wrestling, like I said, they got the dual championships with their team championships coming up, and then they'll start individuals in about a week and a half, 2 weeks. So it's interesting.
All right, let's talk about, and I was just looking at my phone because I just, by the way.
More breaking news.
More breaking news.
It's not Adam Scheffner, it's Thrift Behringer.
So here's, by the way, Glenwood's region now. McGill-Tulane, Montgomery Catholic, St. Michael Catholic, St. Paul's Episcopal, UMS Wright Preparatory, Houston Academy, and Faith Academy. I'll tell you this, McGill-Tulane and Faith Academy are one of the biggest, if not the biggest, powerhouses of private schools in the state of Alabama. So, and by the way, and you heard it right, no Lee Scott. So put in perspective, I know we're supposed to be talking about Muskogee County, but we're breaking news.
This is what we do.
What Carver Spencer is, Brooks on Pacelli, Hardaway Columbus, that is Glenwood Lee Scott for 50 years now. Right. And they've always been in the same region. They have played for state championships against each other in football, basketball, and baseball, and softball, and they are not in the same region. Now, I would fully expect.
And they're 30 minutes apart.
Yeah, and I would fully expect. Right, exactly.
What's the rationale?
So then what's the thought process on
why? You got to go around it.
And you're not going to be.
To go to Montgomery.
That doesn't make any sense. So what's the rationale? And then if you're Glenwood, I feel like because of the relationship with Lee Scott and the AD over there, the games are still going to happen.
Can you make it fit?
But can you make it fit?
Can you make it fit in the football season?
That's the problem. Carver does.
Your other sports are different. Your other sports are different.
Yeah.
But now football, you got 10 games. It's only 10 days.
And you're always expecting that there because it's a region game. You don't have to worry about it. Now, you may have already scheduled your non-conference. Next year, your region has at least got. This could be the first time.
Your first game of the year. Your first game is your biggest rivalry.
Could be rivalry game. Or you may not play it.
That's right.
Well, you're seeing it. There's a lot about to happen here in the next few days, and we can't wait to dissect it.
That's athletics, man. It's a pivot, man. You just got to go from one to the next.
You're having to do that too, because guess what? All 8 of your teams are going in different directions. Seems like some are going here, some are going there.
Yeah.
Let's go back to what we were saying. Swimming. How's that going?
Swimming.
State championships.
Oh, awesome. State championships are next week at Georgia Tech. We just had the All Chat Valley Championships on Wednesday.
Nice.
Went very well. Columbus High, first place.
They win everything, don't they?
Pacelli, second place.
Nice.
And Northside, third place.
Okay.
Great event. 4 hours of just nonstop whistles blowing and water splashing all over the place.
Nice.
Can't beat it. Did you know that the Columbus Aquatic Center is the second largest indoor facility in the state?
I did not.
Only second to Georgia Tech.
And so that's why they host a lot of
tournaments. We host a lot of things here, small college. And my good friend, Tara Wilkins, she runs that facility, and she was sharing that with me last week. And I said, what? She said, we host college events all the time.
And this is hidden gem stuff that we don't
really
talk about. Come on, man.
Here in
Columbus Aquatic Center. Now, obviously now with Synovus Park. Hopefully Memorial Stadium. And I think I want to go there next, Coach. It has really nothing to do with you, because I want people to understand this, that Memorial Stadium is not a part of Muskogee County athletics like Otis Spencer is, and like Cadet Stadium is.
Correct.
This is a city. So the city would have to approve any work that needs to be done there. Now, in your opinion, as the athletic director of Muskogee County, I feel like it would be beneficial seeing renovations being done in that stadium that could potentially be a third location for your team to play football games.
It would benefit the entire community. I think you can get more collegiate classics here with renovations. And for sure, the partnership that Muskogee County School District has with Parks and Rec would be a benefit for both of us.
Shout out to Sylvester Selden and
That's right.
Curtis Simpson.
Yeah, absolutely. It, like you said, the historical remnants of the stadium are intact, but upgrades are needed.
Yep.
In my opinion.
I agree.
And I think it will help the entire community.
And I'll
leave it at that.
Yeah, but Coach, here's the thing. There are colleges, there are organizations, GIAA, that would love to host state championships and events there. If that gets renovated, it would be another place to host bowl games. I just don't see how there would not be an economic value to renovating that. Now, question is, people are saying the Civic Center needs renovations as well. I completely agree with that. And I would love to see more basketball stuff being hosted at the Civic Center. There's always things for events to be able to come here or to be able to put on showcases here. I love that, Muskogee County Athletics has got a great relationship with CSU. I think the Lumpkin Center is a beautiful place to host a showcase or a tournament easily. But Civic Center is a good place to host events too, and I'd like to see more of Columbus partnering together. But things got to get
Yep.
rebuilt. They got to get fixed, Coach.
We discuss things with Parks and Rec on a weekly basis.
Right.
Different projects and things of that nature. So as things come up on the calendars, if it's something that could be a joint venture, that's one possibility, of course. And I'm not overspeaking my rank or anything, but just a lot of things take place behind the scenes, and to the general public, it takes a lot of funding. So when those taxes come out, or you actually vote on this or vote on that, say yes.
Yeah,
it benefits everyone.
Yeah, 100% agree with that, Coach. That's a great statement. All right, let's go to basketball. We are about 3-4 weeks away. Can you believe it or not, Coach?
Yep.
From region tournament.
Region tournaments.
We're kind of underway right now, and obviously Northside, the only school that's not playing in the same region everybody else is right now. On the girls' side, Sumter County leads. Now Hardaway and Carver, both of them right behind it and still in the thick of things. On the flip side with the boys, it's Carver and then Sumter behind them, along with Shaw Kendrick and Spencer.
Yep.
Coach, what are you seeing so far with basketball right now?
I've been to most gyms. I've seen almost every team that I'm over, because I split my time with middle school.
Right.
Got to forget that.
We'll talk about that in a minute
too. Forget that. But there's some good basketball, and then there's some not so good basketball. And being a basketball coach, we just got to do better, I guess, training them at a younger age.
Yeah.
Because once you get to high school, a first-year player does not have a chance at the high school level to compete for a title. Right. You don't have the time. One of those old Kobe Bryant speeches where he says, if I train from these hours to this hour and this hour to that hour, and you only work out 2 hours a day, how are you going to catch up with me?
Yeah, I'm way ahead of you.
And that's the way our athletics goes, and across the board, in anything. But Carver boys team looks very good. And they've been challenged, of course. I know they had the big game against Pacelli last week.
Yep.
And, I think if they meet a team with the same size and can match player for player, those are going to be really good games. Now, I hope the Carver comes out on top, but those are going to be really good games.
No doubt.
But the one thing that their coaching staff does well is he rotates players in and puts them in different situations. So even the role players are going to get the experience they need for when those big games come up.
No doubt.
Coach Dye does a good job. I watched him and Coach Horton at Shaw battle last week.
That was an incredible game, man.
I left and in the third quarter. I apologize to both of them. I left and in the third because Shaw was up 20. I get home. It must have been a basketball game on television or something. Then I wake up the next morning. The first thing I saw was the game-winning shot was missed.
Yeah.
And I was like, what did I miss? And I called Coach Horton. I called Dye. I said, what happened? And they both, Coach, it was a good game, good fourth quarter. I said, no crap.
I was sick. We missed it, Coach. I'm going to be honest with you.
But good basketball. And like I said, tonight I'll get out. I might go to Northside Monday's Mill game for a quarter or two. Then I might shoot over to watch Kendrick and Carver play. Or I might get to the Spencer game against Hardaway. So, and we got middle school games. So, I'll be in a gym somewhere.
No doubt. And by the way, tomorrow we'll be there for Shaw Sumter. And we're also going to be there tonight for Northside and Monday's Mill. So
and those games got pushed up. The Shaw Sumter got pushed up early.
Because of the weather, which we want everybody out there to be safe. Let's talk about middle school. Basketball kind of under full effect right now.
Yep.
What are some of the timetables? Give us some updates on what's happening, who's playing well, who's some of the top teams, and then when is the playoff start with that?
So I don't know if you can see my work board behind me, but we got middle schools. They're finishing up next weekend. They'll be finishing up, so the playoffs will start on February the 4th at various sites.
Yes.
We'll figure it all out when they get there. Saturday, February the 7th, they will play the semifinal games at Carver High School, and their championships will be at CSU on February 12th.
So it's a blue and a gold division. I'm assuming that's what you're calling it.
Blue and a gold. We're doing it almost like a high school bracket.
Gotcha.
And this is the first year of their cycle. So this year, the girls' teams, higher seeded teams will host their first round games. And then next year, the boys' teams will host the first round games. So Fort is at the top, Fort girls. So I know they'll be hosting a game.
Always.
And everything else is just, man, these teams, as we get the results, I'm updating a bracket every day. But it's too early to even look at it because so much could change. They got 3 more dates. And we actually had some games canceled because of illnesses. We had some kids with the flu at certain schools. So if you're a middle school parent out there, make sure you're checking your schedule. Make sure your athletic directors and coaches are communicating with you because I know Double Churches have moved 2 dates to next week because of some illnesses with his boys program. So We just want everyone to be healthy and play. But of course, with the weather changes and things, you come back from holidays, these things are bound to happen.
Yeah. Well, make sure, again, you check your updates for this information. February 4th, we have the quarters. Semis, where are they going to be played in the state? I know the city championship last year was at Columbus State.
Yes.
Where's that going to be this year?
It'll be at Columbus State again.
And what about the semifinals?
Semifinals will be at Carver High School.
Not Columbus High, Carver.
No, at
it was
Carver.
at Columbus last
Correct. Be at Carver on Saturday, February 7th in the morning. It'll be early in the day.
year. Okay. Well, we can't wait. Carver's a great place to host and
Yeah,
be able to
yeah.
broadcast. We love being up there on that railing. So
Absolutely.
that will be coming up in February. So add that to basketball, baseball, CVCC baseball, softball, and basketball, wrestling. I mean, about 10 sports going on all at the same time, and we'll definitely
That's
be there
right.
for wrestling too. I mean, for the middle school, and then GIAA state championships, playoff basketball. We're going to be busy.
It don't stop.
It's going to be, the February frenzy is one of those things. It may be the shortest month of the year, but in terms of broadcasting, athletic directors, anything from college, middle school, heck, even in high school, February is the busiest month. Soccer, baseball, all of them are getting started.
Everything's in
Traction,
transition.
Everything's in transition. Beginning or either playing. Coach, you know about this
yeah.
better than anybody.
You forgot tennis, track and field,
Baseball,
soccer,
basketball.
golf. We're finishing basketball. We're finishing wrestling. We're finishing swimming. It is a
Is it the busiest month of the year? If
Yeah.
you were an AD, if you had to pick any time.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
August is busy too because you're starting the school year. But February, in terms of like how many sports are going on, I don't think it's anything crazier.
well. I think with the athletic directors, I know they'll love that I say this. Besides the events and the games, you worry about transportation. Kids are now, you got up to 4 teams that could be leaving school early.
Yeah.
So on any given day, Monday through a Friday, you could have 50 kids leaving
Under y'all's supervision.
under your supervision and missing 2 classes, And that's the one thing we don't like about traveling to these different regions and having to play these games. But the state assigns them, and you just have to do the best you can. And you put them on a bus, man, and you just ride out.
Well, guys, by the way, if you want to get more insight into the mind of an athletic director, office hours.
Office
Another
hours.
episode dropping. What happened on this previous one? I heard had some fun things, and someone was very humble and not wanting to brag about the fact that she was the athletic director of the year. But
Right.
talk about what's on the docket for this week's show.
Well, we try to just bring you some uncut comedy shows in the midst of
It's the truth.
in the midst of sharing with you what's going on with us. Coach Danielle McCoy is Athletic Director of the Year for the region. Big shout out to her. She works extremely hard. I would hate to say I'm a mentor, but I know
You are.
She looks up to me, and I've known her now for 12 years. I think when she first got here, she came to Columbus as a trainer.
Yeah, so I found out
Okay,
she
you
was
didn't
a
know.
trainer.
She's
I
a
had
trainer.
no idea.
She's a trainer.
When she came on, we interviewed her.
Yeah.
I realized that she came on as a trainer. She wasn't even in.
She was just finishing school. Yep, just a trainer. And I remember just going out to eat dinner after basketball games. And I'll be like, who is this? Who is this? And she was always with George Williams. She was a bookkeeper, whatever, at Columbus High. And man, her career just, boom. I love her to death. I love her to death.
And she's done a great job.
Done a great job. She works extremely hard,
And a lot of championships this year. Then they win cross country.
Cross country,
Flag made semifinal.
flag mate semis, and her game day cheer
Yeah.
won a ring. And
Volleyball made a deep playoff run.
Yep. And you'll see all those rings. I'm probably on display in my office soon. I told her, size 10, go on and get it.
Well, congratulations to Danielle. And you can check out Office Hours this Sunday. It's going to be a great episode.
Yep.
Kendall Mills, Joe Kegler, Anson Hunley, Danielle McCoy. The crew is always every other week on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Cannot wait for that, Coach. We got baseball starting. We're
Yes.
going to be doing our media day as we always do, coming up that
Yeah, I'm
first
looking
week of
forward to that.
February,
Yeah.
Coach. That's going to be a lot of fun. Elementary-wise, I know we taught middle school. Is there any other middle school sports going on right now you want to kind of shout out in elementary as well?
Middle school swim wrapped up before the break.
Okay.
So we wrapped that up, put a nice bow on that. That was good,
Right.
to see the kids learning, getting that experience.
Awesome.
Then basketball started. In middle school, we go sport by sport.
Right.
So, it's not a lot of overlap at all, besides the swimming.
Right.
But You got swimming, wrestling, and basketball at the same time, but there's no other major sport.
Right.
And I know that calendar can't be fixed. It's just so much going on, and you want to get them that experience. So just pack them in there where you can. But we're going to wrap up basketball, like I said, in a few weeks. But they've started now their soccer conditioning and practices. So you got some basketball players that will probably go right to soccer.
Right.
3 days after the middle school championships, I think it was their first soccer scrimmage. So
Right.
it doesn't stop for them as well. You know, and those athletic directors do a great job, and those coaches coach multiple sports.
No doubt.
You know, so
They don't stop.
they don't stop at all. So
You thought about adding baseball to middle school? What was kind of like, I understand travel. A lot of these kids may do travel ball or something, but what is it because logistically it would cost a lot of money? There's not a lot of practice fields. What is it?
I think that's it. I think that's it. I have not researched it myself. But just bringing it up, just think about it too. Your club leagues are going on. Are there enough umpires? Okay, and your fields, and you got to have coaches experienced enough to coach that sport.
Think about the club teams. Like these kids
That's
are
right.
12, 13, so
And
they're still playing.
They're practicing every day.
Yeah.
So logistically, I don't know where you would put it. I don't know.
And then where would you practice? Where would the
And where
games
would you
be
play?
played? Because
Yeah.
they
Middle
got high
schools, our middle schools don't have baseball fields.
Yeah. You got gyms and makes
Yeah.
it easier. And football, you can practice really almost
Right.
anywhere. And
Yep.
the stadiums, you can play on Wednesdays. But for baseball,
You need a field.
Yeah. And the high school teams need to practice every day.
Yep.
It would make it for difficult. I know that's a question people have asked. And somebody just want to, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
Oh, no,
Coach,
no,
but
I'm fine.
It's something that I just always have think about. All right, Coach, any other final thoughts you want to get out there or events or anything you want to kind of promote that's going on in Muskogee County Athletics?
You know, we are, like we said just a few seconds ago, sports does not stop people. We need your support. Your student athlete, your nephew, your niece, they need your support. Please come out to the games and support them.
Please.
And it's not about winning and losing, you know. Watch them play, enjoy the experience, and let them know that you love them and you care for them, and watch them play the game.
Yes, and enjoy the game.
Exactly.
And by the way, we got some big games coming up. Carver Spence will be coming up here in the next few weeks. Well, part 2, part 1 was pretty good. Part 2, we'll see what happens. Thank y'all so much for watching. We've had a lot of fun here. It's State of Muskogee County Athletics with Kendall Mills on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thanks, sir.
Watch him in office hours this Sunday. We'll see y'all next time.
See you
Georgia
in the
Alabama
gym.
Sports Live.